Go find your alarm clock, find your discipline, and find your guts and your passion and your drive, and find your will. Every day is a new day, a new week, a new shot at life, an opportunity to come out of the gate like a man possessed and attack the day without mercy. Today, I'm taking scalps. I'm putting the pressure on. I am the aggressor. I am on the attack. Because I will not stop.
Champions are focused on the goal. They don't have time to be doing stuff that's not going to help them toward the goal. So all the little stuff you talking about, all the little social media, cut it off. Cut it off. Do what you're supposed to do. You ain't no boy no more. Get off social media. It's killing you. Get off of it. Stop Netflix. Who you watching? Watch you. Cut that doggone football game off. It ain't doing nothing for you. They making millions, you not. More stuff comes to you when you execute, son.
There's so many times in life you don't want to be doing what the fuck you're doing. You can't just fucking quit. Remember this, it's in the hobby, it's in the fucking joke, it's a fucking lifestyle. So what you say to yourself is important. There's no fucking coach, there's no trainer to keep you going, it's only you. The whole thing is this, don't say a word. Stay uncommon amongst uncommon people. You're never done. Don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done. Stay hard.
It is the process of the grind that shapes you and forms you. It's not the game. And that's why most of y'all get beat in the game or make mistakes in the game, because you think grinding is what happens when the sun comes out. You think grinding is what happens when the lights come on. You think grinding is what happens when people get in the stage. That's not grind. The real grind is in the dark when nobody sees you, when nobody knows what you're doing, when you studying without coach, when you putting in those extra reps, when you watching those videos and you getting inspired, when you change your music. It's the process that makes you sweet. You can't be average and be a legend. You can't be good and be a legend. You can't be great, really, and be a legend. You gotta be phenomenal. I want you to push for legend. Every single day of my life, I feel like giving 100%. Every single day. I don't have days where I don't feel like it. Why? Because I'm counting on me. My wife's counting on me. My son's counting on me. I don't have days to waste. You gotta get up earlier. You gotta stay up later. You gotta execute, and you gotta go from 70 to 120.
It's not enough you made it to the NFL. Be the fucking MVP. It's not enough you ran a 5K. Win a 10K. It's not enough you became a doctor. Be a better doctor. It's not enough you lost 50 pounds. Go out there and do something with it. Stay fucking hard. Go get some. If you want it, you will find time in your life to do it. If you don't want it, you will continue to do exactly what you're doing now, is give me excuses. You're gonna make up every excuse on why you can't do it, and that's why I can't connect with you. That's why you hear the passion come out of me, and you wanna say it's anger? No, because I know it can be done. And you're telling me on why it can't be done, and then what you do is, he's crazy, he's in a cag. No, you don't want it bad enough. If you want it bad enough, you will figure out how to make this shit happen. People don't want to go in deep, man. All the answers are inside of you. It's a very primitive way. It's very barbarian. It's how we all think. It's how man once walked the earth. And then we get all soft. The most powerful thing we have is our fucking brain. It's our mind. And we don't use it anymore. What separates me from a lot of people is they go into a daunting task. And the task is overwhelming. You have to be open-minded to the possibilities that I can do this. Once you shut your mind down to the possibility that it can be achieved, there's no way it can happen. I know that if you're in a fight, you have to attack. You have to keep attacking. The enemy has to know he is not going to give up. You must break the soul of whatever the fuck is in front of you. That's what I realized. I was never breaking the soul of anything in front of me. If you keep on attacking something, Nothing wants to stand in front of anything that is relentless. Nothing.
Stop running from it and run to it. Stop telling me what you're going through. The greats, they get to it, they go through it. And the harder it is, the better. Make it work. Let's go. You are not where you want to be, not because you need any more gifts. You don't need nothing else. You need to discipline yourself. You need to learn to tell you no. You keep talking about everybody else you can't tell no. You can't tell you no. You can't tell you stop. You can't tell you quit. You gotta get to a point where you're disciplined, and you need to learn to check yourself. I want you to say, the reason I'm not amazing yet because I hit the snooze button. That's why I'm not amazing right now. The reason why I'm not amazing right now is because I couldn't get up early enough because I told myself I'm not an early person. I'm not amazing because I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing to be amazing.
Stop rationalizing. Stop making excuses. Stop giving yourself little watered down assessments of where you're really at. Tell yourself the truth.
Are you making yourself better? Or are you making yourself worse? Are you moving forward or are you moving back? Are you making progress or are you stagnating? Make the decision, yes or no. Are you going to work out today? Yes or no. Are you going to win? Yes or no. Don't allow for any gray area in there. Get rid of the debate. And you know the right decision to make. So go and make it.
What the hell are we all waiting for to start attacking life? Waiting for the fucking stars to align? There is no perfect time to start. You gotta start now and changing your life. We're all being tested in life. And guess what? This is one test you can't cheat on. You gotta do your best work when you're least motivated. So those days you don't want to do it, guess what you gotta do? You gotta suck it the fuck up and do it. Stay hard.
You know, sometimes you get that feeling in life that things aren't going my way. You hear people say that. Things aren't going my way right now. And you know, when I hear somebody say that, I say back to them, listen, things just don't go your way. That's not the way the world works. You gotta make them go your way. You think things are gonna just happen for you? Well, they're not just gonna happen for you. You gotta make them happen. Each Monday, go make things happen.
There's so many times in life you don't want to be doing what the fuck you're doing. You can't just fucking quit. Remember this, it's in the hobby, it's in the fucking joke, it's a fucking lifestyle. So what you saying to yourself is important. There's no fucking coach, there's no trainer to keep you going, only you. The whole thing is this, don't say a word. Stay uncommon amongst uncommon people. You're never done. Don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done. Stay hard.
Tomorrow doesn't work. You do it today. You get it done today. That's what you do. People spend time waiting for when the time is going to be right. They're waiting for the pieces to fall into place. They're waiting for the planets to align. They're waiting for everything to be all set. It's not going to happen. You want to know when the time is right? The time is right now.
You cannot stop while you could be working, while you could be further along the road. You sitting there contemplating, like you're sitting there moaning about it. You're sitting there complaining about it. You gotta work. Get your life in your hands, like flat out. Take responsibility. It's time to take ownership. Take ownership of your life. Take ownership of your time. Take ownership of your day. Tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. Ain't no such thing as tomorrow. We only got today.
Rise up and aggressively move forward down the path. Get yourself in the game. Shut down all those pathetic excuses and get after it.
All right, everybody. Okay. The reason why I did that is getting towards the end of the year, and I want you to begin to start listening to what's going on in your head. What are you saying? What's your excuse this time? What's your excuse why you haven't done anything? What is it while you're lying to yourself? What is it about the fact that you're not doing because of the fact, well, I don't know how, I'm not sure. Then what are you doing to make sure that you are sure? What are you doing? What are you doing with are you following the directions of your coach? If you're not following the directions of your coach, doing your own thing, then why do you have a coach? Then do your own thing. Make your mistakes, then come back and cry. Your coach is there to make you a success. See, you have an idea, a plan, and action, but let me ask you, does your idea, plan, and action have your coach involved? Some of you have hired coaches out there, and in fact, tonight I have someone I'm talking to tonight here in about an hour. And on top of that, the thing is, he's actually willing to go ahead and come on as a guest to go ahead and see what it is. To give you information about, let me see. Is he here? He might be in here. Let me take a looky-loo. No. He's not in I think he's not in YouTube. But he'll go ahead and be here probably next week to tell you it took him 2 extra years because he didn't want to follow everything that I was telling him. And he'll tell you that what he spent, if he would have actually followed the directions, he would have spent a lot less. See, everyone, you keep trying to think when you don't know what the process is. See, everyone wants to, they say, well, I know what it is. Really? Are you asking, well, why? Well, how does it work? Have you done it yet? No, then you don't know how it works, and it's not going to make any difference how it works until you actually do it. Until you actually do it. You got to understand this whole process of building business credit is wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off, and then you'll know what to do. Some of you still have the challenge of having loose lips sink ship when you talk on the telephone. You say way too much that confuses the other individual because of the fact is you're not thoroughly clear on what you're saying, which is perfectly fine though, because you need that to follow, to stumble and fall, to begin to realize what are you going to do? What are you going to say? It's like this. Life is giving you a test, and you can't cheat on this. There is no cheating in anything that you do in life. It's not like going to school. Those of you who got your degree, in fact, I'm going to go ahead and dig mine out to show you why I went to Columbia so you can see it. But let me tell you, I can tell you from a living fact, was it a waste of time? Yes. Was it worth getting the document? No. Am I glad I have the document? Yes. But it didn't give me the skills or the aptitude or the distinctions of a distinction of the distinction of the distinction of what's working. Because you can tell somebody you're going to build a car and you're going to make it go 1,000 miles an hour in 2.5 seconds. Well, how? You can tell them how, but they're still never really going to understand it until you get the experience. People are so worried about not saying how. You're not even going to know how to implement the how, first of all. See, it'd be like giving keys to a 5-year-old to a Maserati. That would be totally irresponsible because they don't know how to drive it with that kind of power in a car. Same thing as coach. It'll be totally devastating to you to give you that information because you'll know enough to get yourself in trouble. I'm going to say this really straight out to people out there that they're so worried about, oh, it's too crass. Well, here I'm going to tell you, as a coach, shut up, do it, and get through with it. Then you're going to know what to do. If you don't want to shut up and go through it, then don't bother calling. Don't bother fulfilling on it. You're the one that's going to suffer. It's like a coach that teaches you on a football field. He's not going to go, oh, poor baby, it's too much work for you. Shut up and go another 100 yards. We're not concerned about how you feel because your feelings betray you. Only we're concerned about is your success and what you say you want. Not what we want, what you said you want. And we're going to be merciless against what you want because we want you to have what you want. Probably more than you. That's why we don't ask you, well, why do you think that? I don't care why you think that. My only concern, it came out of your mouth. You said you want this much, and you want to build this, and you want to have this stuff going on, and this stuff going on. That's all I know until you sign a piece of paper saying, I don't want those dreams anymore. Until then, I'm not going to go by, oh, it's too hard. You sign a paper under the penalty of perjury, and I'll go ahead and stop pursuing that particular that way for you, and I'll baby you and take you a little more time, and I won't charge you so much, and I'll charge you less because no, however you want to do it, sign under the penalty of perjury. You don't want that dream? Cool. So I can show people, if you complain, no, they signed this right here under the penalty of perjury. They said they didn't want their dream on A, B, C, and D. You guys, I'm not playing. I'm not homie from Wyoming. I'm no joke like some of those other guys out there that don't care about you. I care enough about you to be that coach that you will dislike, you will despise. Oh, God, his has no heart. Really? Because I want you to have your success that you say you want it, and I don't have any heart? Stop it. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to make sure you get where you want to go. Because that's better than being a friend. Because you have friends around you that have told you, don't worry about it. You have family tell me, oh, you're stupid. You're an idiot. You're dumb. Why'd you do that for? If they were your family, that's what they say to you? Yet you have a coach that believes in you, willing to work with you, willing to have your dream ahead of what we think you should do based on your dreams. So we're going to put you through it. You're going to have to get hit a few times. Some of you out there, I can tell you, they already know, they've been with me for a while. This person's been with me since, 2012. And he kicked and screamed and said, da, da, da. How come? Why? This, that. Now, finally, after all these years, he said, man, now I know why he said for me to go ahead, time to think about my success. I never really thought about it because I just always want to know how it's going to happen before it's happened. Yeah, because you guys are so used to the worldly tradition, how they taught you in school. They taught you to be dumb and stupid and ignorant. Ignorant is not bad. It just means you don't know. In fact, some of you don't have you've got the distinctions from the school that you went to, especially the millennials and the youngsters. I'm part of the OG, where back then when we were going to school, we got smacked, kicked, and the big old paddle in the gym with the freaking holes in it, and whack, whack, whack. And we go crying to our parents says, you deserved it. Even if we didn't, you deserved it. So then now we got, oh, well, here's some of the stuff that I challenge anybody out there. If no one challenges your thinking, because I'm going to say you don't think that you think. You think you have your thoughts, and you think it's your real thought. You never once question the thought that you have to see if it's even your own thinking. You have not even developed the distinction to say, wait a minute, where did that thought come from? Because I never actually originated that thought. Where did I get it from? Some of you never even ask, is that my original thought? You just go with it. I hear it a lot in the business building part of it and your success, because you're always asking why and why. Well, how does it work? How does it work? Well, it's like this. If you have never run a marathon, I cannot tell you what it's like to hit the wall. I can never give you the experience of what it's like. All I can give you is verbal mumbo jumbo that's going to be meaningless to you, especially empty and meaningless to you, because you'll never have the experience until you go do it. A lot of you sell yourself out for the how and why and how come. You sell out to that instead of actually grabbing the experience, learning from the experience, so you never forget. See, that's why I have people that I really don't like building their business credit for them, because they never have the experience. Then they come back and say, you never showed me. Well, you never came to or never followed directions to show you. I have someone that says, oh, your thing didn't work. Okay, great. What didn't work about it? That's what I would do. I'd take a drink of water. Then they said, well, what didn't work about it was blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. Were you here on the Monday when you're supposed to be? Well, no, I got busy. Okay. Were you here on the Thursday when we were rescheduled? No, I wasn't. All right, great. Did you allow me to go ahead and do X, Y, and Z? Did you give me the power of attorney to do what I needed to do, or I had to wait for you, right? Yeah, and then when I decided to do it, you were there? No. All I'm going to tell you, we ask you for things we need so we can do what we need to do, and then we can do it. And if you don't give us certain pieces of paper, we can't guarantee you the results. Because a lot of you are not wax on, wax off people. You don't even have the distinction of what you're really asking for, because you're asking out of something that comes from somewhere else. Excuse me. See, even sometimes I have to question, do I have an original thought? Do you really have an original thought? How long have human beings been around? I can almost promise you this much. Some of you now millennials that are really great at Googling, anybody out there today, anybody out there, in YouTube, Facebook, wherever, I ask you to Google or find this out if I'm incorrect what I'm about to say to you. We are more advanced in technology in the human arena. We're more advanced in war technology as well. We're more advanced in the communication technology as well than we are in our human being conversations. Our conversations are still back roughly in the Stone Age to some degree, because we don't even question our thoughts of the thought. You don't even question to say, well, why do I have this thought about thinking about success? Where did that come from? And then when you spit it out, is it really you that's spitting it out? Or is it the part of you that's been told from somebody, somewhere, from, I don't care, from mom, dad, aunt, uncle, neighbor, wife, girlfriend, secret lover, that someone's requiring something of you? Has it come, was it influenced by them? Or have you sat down to really question that thought pattern? Is it really mine? Or am I going to go ahead now? No, it wasn't mine, but now I'm going to own it. So now once you own it, it does become yours. Even in relationships, I don't care if it's interpersonal relationships or in business. You guys, guess what? A lot of you go into your intimate relationships with all this baggage and garbage from the past that you thought, oh, I'm all cleaned up now. I'm ready to get in a relationship. You know, you have the women, okay, great, now. Or you know what, I'm scared. You might hurt me again. Well, how's that other person going to hurt you when you don't even know who they are? Oh, I know, because they're a man. Or a guy says, well, I don't know about this woman. They always cheated, so I know she's cheating already. You have her cheating already before you even go ahead and date her. You guys are so outdated. So, don't get me, I am too. The reason why I'm bringing this up, because this week my coaching session just ripped me a new one. I'm like, whoa, I haven't used a lot of that stuff when I say I forgot about it, because you get lazy. Well, that's what the coach is for. He goes, talking about, we spent 5 hours breaking down a lot of conversations about certain things. And at the end of the whole thing, I really got, my coach really loved me that much to really hang in there with me. Man, I got mad. I got upset. What does this have to do with the business? What does it have to do with this? And then we go, well, let's look at the facts and this and that. How are you doing over here? What do you got going here? Okay, great. So your results are speaking for you. No, that has not. Oh, you. And I began to realize when you start arguing against reality, it's like a leaf that comes down the river on the water and it keeps hitting the rock. Eventually the leaf gets all beat up. And that's what happens to a lot of us. You really believe what you're doing right now in life, that's all there is. That's it. And you speak like it. And I get it. This is what I'm saying is why all our coaches go through this regimen of breaking ourselves up. Find out really. In other words, it's kind of like this. Everybody knows when they see you I'm going to tell you, I don't care if it's a stranger off the street. Everyone knows your already all too act that you have. You all have an act that you do right up front. And people know it. Instead of you just being authentic about who you are, not about what you think you are. First of all, you can get you're a human, and then you have thoughts that you have to figure out that are yours or not yours. Then you have this little monkey in the back talking to you, and you got these two sides going like this at you. Am I right? Am I good? Am I bad? Am I right or wrong? This, that, that. Who cares who likes you? I'm going to tell you, nobody in the world really likes you, because look what they do. Sometimes they'll cuss at you. Sometimes they'll call you an idiot. Then, all right, I was wrong. And they'll do all kinds of weird stuff. Hey, they'll be there right with you. Then all of a sudden, whoa, no, man, I can't do that. That's not a friend. A true friend is thick and thin and tells you straight, hey, look it. I'm going to wish you the best success. I'll be here for you if anything happens, which means this. If you come down the ladder, I'm going to be right here for you. You go up the ladder, I'm going to keep coaching you on. You come down the ladder, I'm going to coach you back up, which means you're there for them. You don't judge, oh, well, you were just an idiot. That's not a friend. That's not even an associate, because I promise you this much. That little voice on the back on your shoulder goes and starts speaking all this kind of poo-poo to you. I bet you $1 to donut if it was on your shoulder, you could see it. You'd smack it. Why is your originating circle not supporting who you are? Because you allow the people. Well, I can't do without them. Why do people hoard? Why do people hoard their houses and keep collecting? It's an age conversation inside their mind that they keep trapped and they can't let it go. But they go to someone else's house and, oh my God, look how beautiful it is. Boy, I'd like to have a house like that someday. They can, but if they let all that go, they wouldn't know what to do, because all of a sudden the emperor's naked. Now what are you going to do? It's the same thing when you build your business credit. It's like this. I can tell you, you should always have 3 banks always open. 3. But a lot of people don't know actually how to do it. And then here's this. I said, go open 3 banks. Okay, great. And I'll tell them, here's what you want to do. You want to open a regional bank. Be like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, U.S. Bank's not one. Wells Fargo. You have these other big ones out there, okay? Oh, Chase Bank, J.P. Morgan. All right. Those are regional banks. Then I say go for the mid-size. Mid-size would be like U.S. Bank. You go for like First National Bank. You go for mid-sized banks. That's 2. And then the third one, I keep saying to people, is now you do a credit union. Just a credit union. Why do I tell you a credit union? Because a credit union is where all the money's at. What? What do you mean all the money? What do you mean? If I'm going to have an idea and a plan in action, I have a coach to coach me, but I'm not willing to follow the idea, plan, and action, then why can I complain that I don't have enough? Do you realize if you have those 3 banks I just mentioned about, not those particular banks, but a major regional bank, a mid-sized bank, and a credit union? See, one thing about a credit union you want to understand is this. Credit unions are one of the best things in the world you can actually have and do. But you've got to know where to go. You've definitely got to know where to go. And what I mean by that is, if you don't understand where to go or what's next for you, you will begin to understand that you have fallen away from a lot of things that actually will make a difference in your life. What I want to tell you is that following instructions, and sometimes you're not ready for the instructions, and that's the reason why sometimes when I work with some people, I don't say anything anymore. I don't talk about anything. I'm like, okay. They say, well, I don't think it works. I get real quiet. Okay, they're right. See, they're a customer. I'll let them be the customer because you can't get through. It's just like this. When you get into an intimate relationship and you tell the other person, well, I don't think you're going to love me because of this, that. You're right, because you're going to do everything to prove that you're right so that you can be right about either the guy or the woman. Some of you don't know how to go into a space empty, where everything around you is empty and meaningless, so a person has a chance to show up brilliant. Some of you might have brilliant women around you, but a lot of you guys are so busy in your dang head. Oh, she's doing this and she's doing that. She's not the one that's doing it, it's you. Same thing with a woman. You probably have a brilliant man around you, but some of you are so dang possessive and insecure, and now you have the same monologue going on in your head. Oh, he's cheating, he's always staying late. But for some reason, you have the money for the house, you have things for going on, you're able to do some things, and you see things are happening, and it doesn't add up. But no, you still want that story of your life to be true, that you're a victim. It goes for both men and women. You want to be a victim. There's no victims. None. Even if someone came up to me and held me up with a gun and shot me in my arm and took my wallet, I'm not a victim. I was at the place at the wrong time. I know I didn't plan on it. Here's I'm going to say something weird to you, because this is a whole level of really listening and really taking in, wow, where does it stand? I ask you this question. I'm driving down the street. I stop at a stop sign. I look left, I look right, I look left, and I'm about ready to go. Bam, I get rear-ended. Whose fault is it? Whose fault is it? Most people will say, well, it's the guy behind you that hit you. It's his fault. Okay. No, it's not. It's not his fault. And a lot of you have a hard wrestling time with this. Now, see, a lot of you are looking at as fault as who's going to pay. See, this is what I'm talking about, how the world hasn't taught you a way to think that will empower you so you can make a huge difference in your, not only your, see, when you work with us, you get everything for your personal life, business life, because it all wraps up together. You're looking at from the accident as a whose fault? Who's going to pay? No, I just said whose fault it is. You're not listening to the word. That's what I'm talking about. See, you have a listening for how it should be said, because you're, boom, a guy got hit. Whose fault is it? Automatically, you go into who's going to pay. That's whose fault it is. No, I didn't ask that question. I didn't say whose fault it is and who's going to pay. It's not what I said. See, you guys do it in intimate relationships. You do it in your business relationship. You do it in the coaching. You listen to what you want to hear versus what's really said. That's how weak your gray matter is. I don't care if you have a PhD, and I don't care if you graduate from Harvard. That's even worse. They only teach you now. I'm going to say I noticed the difference when I finished at Columbia in 1997. I noticed it from, actually, took me 7 years. So 1990 was when I roughly started, all the way to 97. I noticed from 90 to 92, it changed to 92 going forward. It was more about getting the answer right, not a problem listening, solving skills. No, so let me go back to the whole thing again. I come to a stop sign, I look left, I look right, I look left, I look right, I look left, I'm ready to go. Bam, I'm hit. Whose fault is it? Again, you might be able to hear it now. Whose fault it is mine. You say, how can it be your fault? Well, because I was there. That's it. See, you would take a lot of heat off yourself. Well, it's not my fault because are you there? Yes. Then it's your fault. Not like fault like you're going to pay. It was just your fault that you were there at that time and place. That's it. If I got robbed because it's my fault, not for what the person does. Can't control the behavior. I'm fault just for being there at that moment. If I got shot, that's the consequences of me being where I'm at that time. Do I want the person punished for that? Of course. But I'm not a victim to it. I was just there. Now I have to adjust and adapt to that life of it. See, when a person goes into battle, you really think they're ready for battle? I don't care how much a person trains for it. I don't care how much a bad booty you are. Or bad, how do you call it? What's the proper name? I don't care how bad of a buttocks you are, okay? You're never really ready for it, even if you practice around the gunshots over your head, crawling around, doing what you got to do, swimming in the water, cold water all the time for hours at a time, throwing yourself down, holding yourself underwater for, as long as you can, and building this and doing that, doing certain things. That only kind of gets you prepped. But when the real battle comes up, when you know that you're going to, when you hear that zing, zing, poof, you hear the zing, you know it's real and you know you could die. See, these are the things that people don't realize. Your thinking is so archaic, and so is mine. That's why once a week, we're always updating. It's coming towards the end of the year, so we had some time. We had our classes this time for that 5-hour period, and we go through everything to start ripping it apart, peeling the onion, because we're going into next year. Next year, we're going to be battle ready. For what shows up, we're ready to dance. And we just get, when the person asks, hey, well, why is it not working? Cool. I can say it's my fault because I'm there. Not like my fault because I didn't get it. It's my fault because I'm there. And it's okay. And I'm not talking like fault like you hear this. Some of you are going to look at fault. It's not my fault because you have something attached. Oh, it's another thing we're going to go through next week. No, after Christmas. The week before the New Year's. We're going to go through how we're emotionally attached to words. Like fine. Some people take fine like, whoa, man. They take it like it's the middle finger. We're going to go ahead and start detaching ourselves from the word just to get it's just the word from the dictionary. For instance, a lot of you think F-U-C-K is bad because you've named it that way. But all it stands for, the acronym, all it stands for, and everyone's turned that acronym to, ooh, that's bad, that's fine. I'm going to stab you over it, they say. I'm going to shoot you over an acronym. And all it means is fornication under carnal knowledge. Now, what would you do if I said to you, oh, you know what? Fornication under carnal knowledge, you all would laugh. But the minute I say, you know what, you get all mad and upset, and you're ready to go to war. Some of you are ready to kill people over that word. When all it means is fornication under carnal knowledge. But if someone cussed you and said, fornication under carnal knowledge, y'all like, what? Y'all be laughing. They just said the same thing. F-U-C-K, that's all they said. Fornication, under carnal carnal knowledge. Carnal and K knowledge. That's it. That's all it means. This is how weak society has made you. This is what about building business credit. I hear it every day. Well, your business becomes a money connector. But what does that mean? Why would she use your money? Why would we use your money to make you money? Well, let's see. How does it operate in the world? Isn't that your main complaint? A lot of your main complaints are, I don't have money. Some of you that have money, your main complaint is, well, I want to make sure it's going to be safe. It's never going to be safe, no matter what happens. Even if you get it all back, it's still not safe. Well, I'm investing in real estate. I tell people, yes, it's a good security you have the building because at least you know where your principal's at. More people focus on the principal than on the interest, which is kind of crazy. Now, institutions, principal second, their interest is important. They'll foreclose on you, not for the principal, really. They foreclose on you because they're not getting their interest payment. That's why some lenders out there are beginning to understand. My cousin called me and said, hey, the lender, I was 3 months behind, and this is a personal loan he got from a lender. And they called me up and say, look, we know you're behind. What if you just go ahead and just make the interest payment only? And catch up with those, and then we'll go ahead and throw the principal on the back. And then from there, when it gets to the end of the loan, If you still need some time on the principal, if you can't make those 3 or 4 months payments you're behind, then we'll go ahead and do a smaller interest rate. And they give them what I think it was like 12% or something, 16%, something like that. They're smart because they don't want to lose. They don't want to lose their interest. They'd rather get their money than because they know what the principal is. I said, take it. Take it. It gives you a chance to get your feet back on the ground, and they're going to report them current. You guys got to understand this. You really understand that you're thinking about your success. Think about it. Again, I told you, here we go. I told you about 3 banks. You should have 3 bank accounts open up on your major companies. Divisions is another conversation. But 3 banks on your, what if you have an LLC or corporation? Anything underneath the LLC, you don't worry about that yet. Your major regional bank, mid-sized bank, and then you want to have credit unions or credit union. One thing I want to tell you about also, you got it. One thing you must, what you have when you're building your business in your banking area is you must have the NPR, not the NPR radio station either. The NPR is mutual product relationship. Mutual product relationship. And a lot of people don't understand that about what the banking is. I've mentioned it to them. I mentioned it to them. People still don't want to go down to a freaking credit union and open up a bank account with them. Because I'm going to tell you, your credit unions are the most lenient one. There's a credit union, there's several, I'm going to tell you one. But there's a credit union that will allow you can put $5 in to open into the membership. Now you're a member for $5. Now you have NPR. NPR is your most important thing with banks. Mutual product relationship. Here's another thing. A lot of you don't understand what banks allow you to do this too. I've told people this in the class, but they don't get it, and they go, well, but if I haven't, here's one thing you guys got to begin to understand. The day you were born, you were already dying. A lot of you think you have a lot of time. I don't care if you are only 18. You're dead already. I don't care if you're born and just came out 30 seconds ago. They're dead already because you're already on the clock ticking. In fact, in the womb, you're already dead because this clock starts ticking. Y'all don't know. Well, I keep saying y'all. Anyways, y'all don't know when that clock's going to stop on you. Right now, I can finish this webinar and boom, I can drop because the clock says time. And some of you probably says, good, I hope so, because I'm having a conversation I don't want to hear. I don't care if you don't want to hear it, because here's the thing. My most main concern, what you take away tonight, is that, wait a minute, how lazy really am I thinking? And let me ask you, do I have an original thought that's going to make a difference in my world? Do you even stop for a moment to say, wait a minute, have I made a distinction about my thought, about the distinction where it came from, then the distinction about the distinction where it came from, and now, since I know where it came from, am I going to own it, keep it, or trash it? It's up to you. But some of you just go and you think it's real. You go with your emotions and you think it's real. What's real is the juice from the emotion it gives you, but not the intellectual process of it. Why do you think it's so? I mean, it's easy for me to go ahead and poke it, especially men. Man, they're so easy to poke at because they have all these emotional wounds. And trust me, I've had them. And sometimes I'm human. I can fear it. But here's the thing. I can sense it flaring up and go, oh, there's my identity. There's my ego. Doesn't like that because they're saying this. And are they paying my bills? No. Are they the one? Are they ones that are buying me groceries? No. So why am I going to listen to them? I'm saying the same thing. You can take this for a grain of salt or really dig in to see how would this what I just told you empower you in your business to build your business credit. and to move you forward for 22. But this information is not for 22. It's for generations to go forward. Why do you think you were born 2 eyes in front of you? A lot of you drive through life on the rear view mirror and you have a lot of accidents. Think about this. See, time cares about nothing. It keeps going. Time doesn't care about your excuses. It keeps going. Until you realize that, you are going to have so many heartbreaks in the world. Some people kill themselves over this type of thinking. Especially this one. Money doesn't cry for you. Why do you cry for money? Why do you cry and you work in a business and then it's about ready to go down, but you're willing to go ahead and bring the pain home and take your family down, take your house down, while the business is designed so you won't bring the pain home. Case that, oh, well, too bad, it didn't work out. But, oh, you guys rather complain about, oh, the rich people do it. Well, guess what? Rich people are willing to take a chance. Aren't you? When debt follows tax ID? I'm not saying go do stuff out there on purpose, but go do something knowing that you're doing it properly. And you're doing it with intent to win. I promise you this. You've got to remember this. Life's always testing you. And there's one test you cannot cheat on. Back to the credit reports. Credit unions. So you got to remember this. Also, all banking, when you apply for business stuff, it's either actual revenue or estimated revenue. That's where you got to have a plan and a projection of what you're going to do in the next 12 months. But a lot of you guys, oh my God, it's not this. Just be quiet. Those are the rules. If you don't have a plan and projection for next year, you best have one. So when you update your Dun and Brad information on the amount of money you're going to make, you can go ahead and have projections. The past is facts. Projection you're allowed to have for business. In personal, you cannot do that. Also, another thing is this. You must remember this. What did I tell you? There are credit unions right now out there. If you have a 675 and an 850 score, they have credit cards right now, cash credit cards, that will get you anywhere between $40,000 to $80,000. But some of you just don't want to either do the work or you're not willing to listen to your coach that tells you where to go and open it for you because you don't want to do the power of attorney, which is fine. But don't complain because we told you up front, sometimes you need to do it so we can handle the business and tell you what we did that day. Another thing is this. Here's what I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. Beth Page Credit Union. Go there. Open one up online. Beth Page Credit Union. But I don't live in the state it's in. Be quiet. Beth Page Credit Union. Go online. Open the account. Fund it with a $5 card. Let them call you. Have an MPR. And then boom. Some of you are in places that have the credit unions. You need to walk in and have the relationship. Hey, how you guys doing? What's it take to be a member with you guys? Then you can ask them about the products. Then you can even compare them to Beth Page. Hey, Beth Page has some place for an $80,000 credit card if my score is at least over 800. If your score is 800, 700, some will take a 675. And there's more criteria too, but you want to go look. I'm not going to tell you the criteria. You want to do your work. So again, remember that this is all the stuff we've been talking about. One thing I want to let you know is that this is what's so important for you about that, is that it's for your success. We're here for you. Just follow the directions. The only thing we want you to do is have what you want. And I promise you, you will have what you want if you're willing to do what it takes in following the directions that takes you down the road, what you're looking for. And then once you put the wax on and do the wax off, right, left, up, down, this way, that way, when it comes down to setting up a division, you're going to know how to do it with your eyes closed. For some of you that you have us do it, you won't know how to do it with your eyes closed. You're only going to know to call us again and say, hey, can you set this up? And I'm going to tell you, if I have that person on next week, I'm going to have him talk to you and tell you all these years he finally acquiesced this year, and he has over like $5 million in less than a year in business credit because he followed everything he said to be done. And on top of that, he was willing. See, sometimes we have to go ahead and use your information and get a credit card through another company with that, then take that company credit card and move it to your other company, move it over, and then we just go ahead and splice it down the middle, and then now it's all separated, and it has nothing that won't affect you or your business, and it doesn't affect the business that wherever it attached it to. It gets, because now you get the card you want because some places don't like you. That's really about it. It's weird. Sometimes they don't like your business name or something. So we know what company they'll like. So we take your information, get the card over there. Once we get the card, then we go ahead and give it to you and put it to your business. Then we cut off the relationship. Then it's all done. It's pretty simple. You might not understand what I said. And you can turn it into whatever you want, but that's not it. I promise you that. God bless all. Thank you very much. Wednesday is going to be what? Let's see. This is the 20th is tomorrow. 21st, 22nd. Let's see. 21st, 22nd. So the 23rd will be Wednesday. We're going to have a Wednesday thing before Christmas Eve. So we'll be here. We'll be here Sunday as well. But I want to say thank you, folks, very much. Thank you for the year. And it's been an honor and a pleasure for all of you. And this Wednesday, I'm just going to go over a lot of different things. But I also just want to give the whole community out there and everything you've done, that you've been with us, other companies you went with, whatever success you had or haven't had or whatever it is, give us a call. Just give us a call at, 915-779-9186 and ask about a coaching service. We are really straight. The compassion we have is for your dream, not for you. You want a dream, you say you want the success, you have an idea, you put the plan, we work on the action, and as we're working on your idea, plan, and action, we're building. We have the compassion for your dream because the dream is either going to survive because you say so. Sometimes you're going to want to just give up and kick and scream, which is fine, because we're going to still hang in there for your dream, and I meant that before. And at the end of the tunnel, I can tell you, I've had a lot of people with success after that say, wow, I just couldn't believe we hung in there. Why? That's why we go to our own trainer ourselves, to stay mentally clear so we can actually work with you, so you can moan, you can complain, you can kick and scream, you do what you got to do. Because you know what? We've all done it. I've done it in my beginning too, when my building the business credit. But now it's kind of like, what do I have to do it? Some people, oh, well, this happened to me before, this happened that. Personally, we don't really care about all that. It had nothing to do with us. So that's why we don't care. We're here to go ahead and go forward. You're still now taking that rear view mirror, looking at it and talking about that instead of moving forward in the conversation. So, you know what? I don't need to have this conversation. Coach, what do you want me to do? But sometimes we'll let you go on. I had one client say to me, hey, coach, why'd you let me go on for 15 minutes about my past? I said, didn't I say, hey, let's move forward? You said, you kept going on? I go, oh, yeah, you did, didn't you? I'm not going to fight you. If you want to talk about your past, then that's all your stuff, and that's where you're wasting your time. That's okay. You lose 15 minutes, can't take it back. Remember, when you have your coaches, if you're going to just talk about your past and complain, that's your time you're wasting with a coach that's very valuable for you. That's willing to go. We're willing to go through the landmines first for you because we already have. We know what to do when the landmines show up. And guess what? If something shows up that we never gone through, we know what to do. Do nothing. We relax and go, oh, okay, great. Oh, I don't know the answer. I don't know how to get through this right now. And I'll ask questions to the people on the other phone that I'm talking to. I don't mind. In fact, the more I don't know, the more powerful I become. Because now I have access to everything in the world because I know nothing, which now allows the world to feed me everything I need to know. All right, bless you all. Love you. Have a great one. And thank you for who you are in the world. And thank you very much. Good night.